Welcome to These Shores, the Irish-American experience. It's a great video, you'll see. But first, some crack? That's Irish for some fun. Then to the really good stuff and to the first tales of Sean O'Malley, who gets introduced after the Great Famine. Sláinte!
In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly alone, as she moves round the barrow through the streets broad and narrow, bright couples and bustles, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, bright couples and bustles, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, bright couples and bubbles, alive, alive, oh.
Was a fishmonger, and sure it was no wonder, for so much of father and mother before. Then they both wheeled their barrows through streets broad and narrow, crying bubbles and bustles, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying bubbles and bubbles, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying bubbles and bustles, alive, alive, oh.
Died of a fever, no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly. But all the bustles and barrels, streets broad and narrow, crying bubbles and bustles, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying bubbles and bustles, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, like couples and the souls, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, oh, like couples and the souls, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, like couples and the souls, alive, alive, oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountain side. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley is hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be there in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so, I love you so, I love you so. And when you come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear the soft tread above me, and all my grave shall all the sweeter be, for you will find that I'll be there to love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.
To understand the Irish-American experience, one must delve into the tumultuous history of Ireland itself. Over centuries, the Emerald Isle bore witness to the injustices of British rule, a chapter marked by oppression and strife. The consequences of colonial domination left an indelible mark on the Irish psyche, setting the stage for a diaspora that would reshape the course of history. The narrative of Ireland's turbulent past unfolds against the backdrop of British rule, a chapter laden with historical complexities and persistent struggles for autonomy. From the early Norman invasions in the 12th century to the Tudor conquests of the 16th century, Ireland found itself subject to external dominion. The imposition of English laws and the seizure of Irish lands sparked tensions that would reverberate for centuries. The plantations in Ireland during the 16th and 17th centuries marked a significant and tumultuous period in Irish history, leaving a lasting impact on the land and its people. These plantations were a part of the Tudor and Stuart monarchs' efforts to establish control over Ireland, particularly in the wake of rebellions and resistance to English authority. Plantations involved the confiscation of large tracts of Irish land, predominantly owned by Catholic landowners, and their redistribution to English and Protestant settlers. The confiscated lands were often granted to loyal English subjects, military officers, or nobility, leading to a significant displacement of the native Irish population. This process was not only a means of consolidating English power but also an attempt to Anglicize Ireland culturally and politically. For the vast majority of the Irish during this time, life under the plantation system was marked by profound hardship and disenfranchisement. The displacement of native landowners meant that many Irish families lost their ancestral homes and were relegated to smaller plots or forced into tenancy on lands they once owned. The imposition of discriminatory laws and restrictions, known as the penal laws, targeted Catholics, further marginalizing the majority of the Irish population. Life for the common Irish person during this period was characterized by economic hardship, social inequality, and a loss of cultural autonomy. The penal laws prohibited Catholics from owning land, holding public office, practicing their religion openly, or receiving an education. This system of systemic discrimination created an environment in which the majority of the Irish population faced severe economic and social challenges, contributing to a cycle of poverty and disenfranchisement. As the plantations unfolded, the displacement and disenfranchisement of the Irish people fueled a sense of resistance and determination to preserve their cultural identity. The scars of this historical period would linger, shaping the Irish psyche and influencing the later struggles for independence and self-determination that defined the nation's path in the centuries to come. As British rule tightened its grip, the penal laws of the 17th and 18th centuries further marginalized the Catholic majority in Ireland. Discrimination became institutionalized, with restrictions on land ownership, education, and political participation. The penal laws aimed at suppressing Irish culture, language, and religious practices, creating an environment of oppression that would leave an enduring imprint on the Irish collective memory. The 19th century witnessed the desperate struggle for Irish independence, a battle fought with both pens and swords. Visionaries like Daniel O'Connell championed the cause of Catholic emancipation and parliamentary reform, setting the stage for a fervent desire for self-determination. However, despite political efforts, Ireland continued to grapple with economic inequality and social injustice. The scars of British rule and the Great Famine left an indelible mark on the Irish collective consciousness, shaping a narrative of resilience and resistance that would echo through generations. The struggles for independence and self-determination laid the foundation for a diaspora that would carry the spirit of Ireland across oceans to the shores of America. As we delve deeper into the Irish-American experience, we begin to understand the profound impact of these historical challenges on a community that forged its identity in the crucible of adversity. The Great Famine of the mid-19th century emerged as a tragic turning point, exacerbating the plight of the Irish people. A devastating potato blight led to widespread crop failures, causing mass starvation and disease. While the famine's natural origins were beyond human control, the response of the British government exacerbated the suffering. Rather than providing sufficient aid, they implemented policies that worsened the crisis, including exporting food from Ireland even as its people starved. We'll discuss the Great Famine in more detail in our next chapter before we get into the different waves of immigration to America. In the heart of the 19th century, a silent specter began to creep across the rolling green fields of Ireland, heralding a tragedy that would carve a wound deep into the Irish soul. The Great Famine, known in Irish as Ngorda Mór, unfolded with a merciless grip, stealing away not just livelihoods, but the very essence of life itself. It all began in 1845 when an ominous blight, a microscopic assailant, descended upon Ireland's potato fields. This humble tuber, a staple of the Irish diet, was not just sustenance, it was survival. The potato blight, caused by the fungus Phytophthora infestans, manifested in insidious black spots that spread like a consuming darkness, rendering the crops inedible. With a speed that belied the gravity of the situation, the blight swept through the land, leaving devastation in its wake. Life for the Irish was intertwined with the potato. It was the bedrock of their existence. Families depended on this humble root for nourishment, and the potato fields were not just a source of food but also a lifeline for tenant farmers who toiled on the lands owned by distant landlords. The Irish population had become heavily reliant on the potato, a crop that yielded abundantly and sustained families in a precarious balance. As the blight advanced, a once thriving agricultural landscape turned into a desolate tableau of decay. The lush green fields transformed into a graveyard of blackened, rotting potatoes. The scent of death lingered in the air, and despair settled like a heavy fog over the Irish countryside. To compound the tragedy, the response from the British Parliament deepened the anguish of the Irish people. Rather than intervening to alleviate the suffering, the British exacerbated the crisis by exporting food out of Ireland. Grain, meat, and other provisions were shipped across the Irish Sea, leaving the starving Irish masses with empty hands and hollow stomachs. There was a grotesque irony that as the Irish succumbed to famine, food produced on their own soil was shipped away to feed the appetites of others. The obligations of tenant farmers to absentee landlords added another layer of tragedy to this unfolding human catastrophe. These tenant farmers, burdened by rent payments and unable to sustain themselves, faced eviction from their homes. The stark choice between paying rent and feeding their families became a cruel dilemma, as landlords callously turned a blind eye to the suffering unfolding on their estates. The Great Famine reached its zenith in the late 1840s, unleashing a cascade of death and emigration. The blight, having wrought havoc on the potato crops for several years, finally receded by the early 1850s. However, the scars it left on the Irish psyche endured, as did the haunting memories of a land that had witnessed both starvation and the heart-wrenching exodus of a desperate people. In the chapters that follow, we will explore the consequences of the Great Famine, the waves of Irish immigration it sparked, and the resilience of a community that emerged from the crucible of suffering with an unwavering spirit. The echoes of the Great Famine linger, a somber reminder of a chapter in history where a nation faced the abyss and emerged, scarred but unbroken. The convergence of poverty, social inequality, British rule, and the Great Famine created a perfect storm that propelled waves of Irish people to seek refuge far from the beautiful shores of home. The interplay of these devastating factors pushed the Irish towards immigration as a desperate means of survival and the pursuit of a better life. The Irish diaspora in the wake of these hardships saw millions seeking new opportunities in various corners of the globe. The United States, Canada, Australia, and Great Britain became primary destinations for Irish immigrants, each offering unique prospects for a fresh start. The majority of Irish immigrants set sail for the United States. Irish communities flourished in cities like Boston, New York, and Chicago, contributing significantly to the fabric of American society. The journey of the Irish people to the United States is a compelling saga that began in earnest during the early 18th century. The initial wave of Irish immigrants, driven by economic hardships and seeking better opportunities, consisted largely of Protestants. However, it was the mid-19th century that witnessed a seismic surge in Irish immigration, fueled by a combination of factors, including the devastating impact of the Great Famine and the lure of the American dream. The early Irish immigrants in the 18th century were predominantly Protestant, hailing from various social classes. Many sought economic opportunities in the burgeoning American colonies, contributing to the diverse tapestry of early American society. Despite facing challenges, this initial wave laid the groundwork for a more significant Irish presence in the years to come. The Great Famine of 1845 to 1852 marked a turning point, propelling a massive influx of Irish immigrants to the shores of America. Faced with the devastating impact of the potato blight and the indifferent response of the British government, millions of Irish men, women, and children sought refuge across the Atlantic. The conditions aboard the coffin ships, so named for their harrowing transatlantic journeys, were deplorable, with overcrowded, unsanitary conditions leading to high mortality rates during the voyage. Upon reaching American shores, the Irish faced a myriad of challenges as they settled into their new lives. Discrimination and prejudice were rampant, fueled by anti-Catholic sentiment and the perception of the Irish as impoverished and uneducated. Many Irish immigrants found work in the most arduous and dangerous jobs, such as construction, mining, and factory labor. The Irish, despite facing adversity, established tight-knit communities that provided support and camaraderie in the face of hostility. Life in the United States for the Irish was characterized by a relentless determination to overcome obstacles. While early Irish immigrants faced discrimination and social challenges, they played pivotal roles in the development of American infrastructure and industry. Their strong cultural ties, exemplified by the establishment of Catholic churches and schools, helped preserve their identity and foster a sense of community amidst the hardships of assimilation. In the subsequent parts of this video, we'll explore the lasting contributions of Irish immigrants to American culture, the challenges they overcame, and the vibrant heritage they continue to celebrate in their adopted homeland. But first, let's meet Sean O'Malley. In the Burton Hills of County Kerry, Ireland, young Sean O'Malley's life unfolded against a backdrop of rolling landscapes and the echoes of ancient traditions. Born into a modest farming family, Sean's early years were marked by the timeless rhythm of rural life, where daily toil was interwoven with the tales of Celtic lore passed down through generations. Life in Ireland held a deep connection to the land, where the O'Malley family tilled the soil and tended to their modest homestead. Sean's father, a resilient man with weathered hands and a heart rooted in tradition, imparted the values of hard work, community, Catholic Christianity, and a reverence for the land. Sean's childhood was filled with the laughter of family gatherings, the warmth of peat fires, and the spirited tunes of traditional Irish music. However, beneath the idyllic surface of rural life, economic challenges and the looming specter of British rule cast shadows over the O'Malley family and their community. The repercussions of historical events, including the Great Famine and the impact of British policies on Irish landowners, weighed heavily on Sean's family. Not wanting to be a burden on his family, another mouth to feed, and the limited opportunities and economic hardships caused by the British, Sean started to contemplate a path less traveled, one that led across the Atlantic to the promise of a new beginning. The decision to leave Ireland was not taken lightly. The whispers of emigration echoed through the village, and tales of newfound opportunities in the United States reached Sean's ears. The allure of a land where one could escape the shackles of economic hardship and forge a destiny of their own making resonated deeply with the young man. The vision of America, a land of possibility and hope, fueled Sean's dreams and eclipsed the uncertainty that lay ahead. In the quiet moments before departure, Sean stood on the emerald shores of his homeland, absorbing the haunting melodies of the Irish winds and the timeless tales etched into the landscape. With a heavy heart and more than a single tear in his eye, he bid farewell to the familiar hills and the embrace of family, carrying with him the dreams of a better life and the weight of generations of Irish resilience. The decision to leave Ireland was a poignant chapter in Sean O'Malley's life, a chapter that would unfold on the shores of a new world, where the echoes of Celtic heritage and the spirit of a young Irishman would find a place in the evolving narrative of the American dream. As the Irish embarked on their journey to the United States, they brought with them not only their resilient spirits but also a rich cultural heritage that would indelibly shape the American tapestry. The contributions of the Irish to America are woven into the very fabric of the nation, encompassing fields as diverse as politics, literature, labor, and the arts. In the mid-19th century, Sean O'Malley stepped off the creaking vessel that had carried him across the Atlantic, leaving behind the rolling hills and green valleys of Ireland for the bustling streets of America. Sean was one of the lucky ones, many with nothing but a well-worn suitcase and dreams of a brighter future. Sean found himself at the threshold of the land that promised opportunities yet harbored challenges he could scarcely fathom. As Sean navigated the crowded streets of Boston, he encountered the cold gaze of signs that bore the infamous words, "Irish need not apply." Discrimination against the Irish ran deep in the veins of American society, and the Know-Nothings, an anti-immigrant and anti-Catholic political movement, cast a shadow over Sean's aspirations. With a mixture of hope and trepidation, Sean sought employment, facing closed doors and disparaging remarks simply because of his Irish heritage. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Irish immigrants faced numerous challenges as they sought to establish themselves in the United States. Irish aid societies, such as the Ancient Order of Hibernians and the Ladies' Ancient Order of Hibernians, emerged to provide support, camaraderie, and assistance to the Irish community. These organizations played vital roles in offering financial aid, employment assistance, and a sense of community cohesion. Undeterred by the obstacles he faced, Sean found solace in the company of fellow Irish immigrants who had weathered similar storms. They gathered in the warmth of Irish aid societies, forming tight-knit communities that provided support in the face of adversity. These societies were not merely social gatherings but lifelines, offering financial assistance, job leads, and a shared camaraderie that eased the burden of discrimination, a camaraderie that exists to the present day. The fight for equality burned within Sean, a flame kindled by the injustices he and his compatriots faced daily. Inspired by the struggles of those who came before him, Sean became part of a burgeoning movement for civil, religious, and economic rights. Irish Americans, united in their quest for a fair shot at the American dream, stood at the vanguard of change. Sean witnessed the birth of Irish American political organizations that sought to dismantle discriminatory policies and challenge the status quo. The Irish, once marginalized and scorned, became a political force, pushing for equal rights and recognition. Sean found himself drawn to rallies and meetings, where impassioned speakers articulated a vision of an inclusive America that embraced all its diverse inhabitants. Through resilience and determination, Sean rose above the discriminatory barriers. He became a beacon of hope for those who followed, breaking down the Irish need not apply walls brick by brick. The fight for equality was not just about personal success for Sean, it was about rewriting the narrative for generations of Irish Americans who dared to dream beyond the limitations imposed by prejudice. As Sean carved out a place for himself in the melting pot of American society, he carried with him the echoes of a turbulent past, transforming adversity into a catalyst for change. In the crucible of discrimination, Sean and his fellow Irish Americans forged a legacy of resilience, determination, and a relentless pursuit of equality that would resonate through the corridors of time. It was in this environment that Irish Americans found their way in America. Irish Americans have been involved in various civil rights movements advocating for equality and justice. Figures like Archbishop John Ireland and Mary MacLeod Bethune worked towards a more inclusive society, emphasizing the shared struggles of diverse communities. Irish immigrants played a pivotal role in advocating for workers' rights and social reforms. Labor leaders such as Mary Harris Jones, known as Mother Jones, championed workers' rights and left an enduring legacy in the American labor movement. Irish immigrants, predominantly Catholic, played a crucial role in establishing churches and schools across the United States. These institutions not only served the spiritual needs of the Irish community but also became centers of education and cultural preservation. Some doors and occupations were closed to the early Irish Americans, but they excelled in those fields that were open to them. Irish laborers, often facing discrimination and prejudice, played integral roles in building the nation's infrastructure. From the construction of canals and railroads to working in mines, the sweat and toil of Irish immigrants contributed to the physical development of the United States. In America, Sean O'Malley embraced a new chapter marked by resilience, hard work, and a deep connection to his Irish roots. Securing a job as a laborer, Sean faced the challenges of immigrant life with a determination to build a better future for his family. Catholicism played a pivotal role in his life, providing not only spiritual solace but also a sense of community and continuity with his Irish heritage. Sean's family life blossomed when he met and married Bridget Sullivan, a fellow Irish immigrant who shared his dreams of a brighter future. Together, they navigated the complexities of starting anew in America, with Sean's unwavering work ethic laying the foundation for their household. Their modest home became a haven filled with the echoes of Irish traditions, where the aroma of comforting stews and the laughter of family gatherings filled the air. As the O'Malley family grew, so did their sense of belonging in the Irish American community. Sean and Bridget instilled in their children a strong connection to their cultural heritage, ensuring that Irish traditions, music, and Catholic values were passed down through the generations. The O'Malley household became a microcosm of the broader Irish American experience, with the rhythms of life echoing the resilience and camaraderie forged by countless immigrant families. Sean's journey in America was one of triumph over adversity, where hard work, faith, and a commitment to family formed the pillars of his newfound life. His story reflects the indomitable spirit of Irish immigrants who, like Sean O'Malley, planted seeds of hope in the fertile soil of the American dream. Many Irish Americans rose to prominent political positions, contributing significantly to the governance of the United States. Irish Americans engaged in political activism to address issues affecting their community and to contribute to broader societal changes. Leaders like Tammany Hall's boss William M. Tweed wielded political influence, while individuals like Al Smith and Hugh Carey made significant contributions to state and national politics. Later figures like President John F. Kennedy, Speaker of the House Tip O'Neill, and President Joe Biden have left positive and indelible mark on American politics. Irish Americans have a long-standing tradition of service in law enforcement. The Irish played pivotal roles in shaping police departments across the country, particularly in cities like Boston and New York. Their dedication to public service and a strong sense of community contributed to the establishment of a lasting legacy within the police force. The Irish have also made significant contributions to firefighting. Faced with discrimination and stereotypes, Irish immigrants sought opportunities in fire departments, where they found a sense of camaraderie and purpose. The Irish played integral roles in firefighting units, earning reputations for bravery and dedication to public safety. Irish Americans demonstrated their dedication to their adopted country through military service. From the Civil War to modern conflicts, Irish Americans have served with distinction, earning medals of honor and contributing to the defense of the United States. Irish Americans have left an indelible mark on the world of sports, from legendary boxers like John L. Sullivan to iconic coaches like Knute Rockne. Their impact extends across various athletic pursuits. Irish Americans have excelled in the entertainment industry, from actors like Spencer Tracy and Maureen O'Hara to contemporary stars making their mark on screens large and small. The collective impact of Irish Americans on America's social, political, and cultural spheres is a testament to their enduring legacy. From aid societies providing a safety net for immigrants to active participation in law enforcement, firefighting, and political advocacy, the Irish community has left an indelible mark on the evolving narrative of the United States. As we delve deeper into the Irish-American journey, we will continue to explore the dynamic contributions that have helped shape the nation we know today. The Irish contributions to America transcend specific fields, embodying a spirit of resilience, creativity, and community. Thank you for watching To These Shores, the Irish-American Experience. For more information on these pertinent Irish and Irish-American subjects, please watch my full hour-long video, From Emerald Shores to American Dreams, Celebrating Irish Americans, which not only goes over everything in this video, It goes into a deep dive into what Sean O'Malley would think about everything going on today. But it also has a wee bit of fun, like discussing cultural heritage, banshees, leprechauns, Halloween food, music, dancing, pubs, Guinness, whiskey, Irish coffee, dancing, and of course, everything St. Patrick's and St. Patrick's Day related. Just skip ahead to chapter 6. No use reaped in myself. You'll like the little banshee and leprechaun vignettes. I guarantee it. My channel, known as the Renaissance Spirit, is dedicated to the pursuits of a just, equitable, and humanitarian world. Video topics encompass areas including the history, politics, religion, personal development, society, culture, social and environmental justice, and other topics of liberal arts and sciences, including ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, which is a great comparison and contrast of the modern world. Topics perfect for the true modern polymath. The Renaissance ushered in a golden age and the pursuit of knowledge both lost to time and yet to be discovered. It gave birth to the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason. Embracing truth, knowledge, and an understanding and compassion for humanity opens up the world to each of us individually and improves all of humanity, affording us the opportunity to be better stewards of the earth and to each other. The Renaissance spirit, more than just a philosophy or style, but a style for living, learning, growing, and thinking. If Sean O'Malley were alive today, I'm sure he'd approve. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. If you're looking to explore and experience what life has to offer, I'm sure you'll enjoy the other videos on my channel. Please peruse, and let me know in the comments what you get out of them and what other videos you'd like to see. But first, please take the quiz next to see if you're a Renaissance spirit. Live the Renaissance spirit. Oh, and before I go, watch for Sean O'Malley, An Immigrant's Tale, coming soon. May you live as long as you want, and never want as long as you live. May the wind always be at your back. May the most you wish for be the least you get. Here's to a long life and a merry one. A quick death and an easy one. A pretty girl and an honest one. A cold pint and another one. May the saddest day of your future be no worse than the happiest day of your past. Do not resent growing old. Many are denied the privilege. May the roof above you never fall in and those gathered beneath it never fall out. May you live to be 100 years, with one extra year to repent. May you be at the gates of heaven an hour before the devil knows you're dead. Slán Leat.